We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising political throwbacks you'll ever hear. Imagine listening to a US president demand tougher border security, faster deportations, and strict penalties for illegal hiring, and getting a standing ovation from both Republicans and Democrats. Now, what if I told you that president was Bill Clinton? Yeah, let's talk about that 1995 speech that sounds like it came straight out of a Donald Trump rally, and how everything changed since then. So, let's start at the top.
Members of this committee, please turn your attention to the video screens.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
You believe in open borders and complete chaos. Did you notice the bipartisan support in the chamber? As the video was played, everybody was clapping in that chamber. If I were in Congress in 1995, I would have also stood. Because I wasn't, I stand here today. Other than President Donald J. Trump, the greatest president in my lifetime, with the most safest and secure border, I believe President Clinton understood just how important border security is to our nation. But boy, oh boy, have times changed. 28 years later, the left has gone off the rails. They've gone completely nuts. They've done just the opposite of what the leader of the Democrat Party, President Clinton, stood for on border security in 1995. This committee's ranking member, he was in Congress in 1995. I assume he stood. It seemed like the majority, if not all of the entire chamber, they stood. Matter of fact, Mr. Clinton delivered his speech in the third year of his first term. And he was reelected in 1996. He beat Bob Dole, won by over 8 million votes, won the Electoral College 379 to 159. He had the support of the American people, and I'm going to assume the ranking member also voted for Bill Clinton in 1996. We have two other members, Ms. Jackson and Ms. Lofgren. They were both freshmen at the time. I will assume they stood during that powerful speech as well. And do you know why they supported and voted? They voted for legislation in 1996 strengthening our immigration laws. I applaud them for that. So what's changed, folks? What's changed with the Democrat Party? I'll tell you what's changed. If you wouldn't have heard President Clinton's voice or seen his face, you would have thought Donald Trump delivered that speech. I don't believe that President Clinton was called a racist, a white supremacist who hated immigrants, as the left and the dishonest media has painted Donald J. Trump to be. I have a report from the Heritage Foundation titled Tracking Movement of Illegal Aliens from NGOs to Interior of the USA. Why do you think NGOs have moved illegal immigrants to 431 of the 435 congressional districts? The truth is, hear me, it's because the Democrats' progressive policies are not acceptable to Americans. Heritage obtained a sampling of approximately 30,000 cell phones that were tracked to NGOs along border states. They tracked approximately 22,000 devices at 20 NGO locations in January 2022. The same devices were later traced to 431 separate U.S. congressional districts, and of the 52 with the highest rate of tracked devices, 71 of them were Republican congressional districts. The report revealed that it's not a coincidence, folks. The flood of illegal immigrants means a continued rise in surplus laborers. That surplus drives down the wages of existing middle-class and lower-class job holders until they leave the job forces, and then they're forced to go on welfare with the hopes that they will become loyal supporters of the Democrats. That's what this is all about.
In 1995, President Bill Clinton stood before Congress and addressed what he called the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. He talked about jobs being taken from American citizens, public services being strained, and the need for tougher border security. His solution? Hire more border guards, deport more criminal aliens, crack down on illegal hiring, cut welfare access for undocumented immigrants. Sound familiar? This could have been a Trump campaign speech. And yet, everyone clapped. The entire chamber, bipartisan applause. Think about that. Clinton's speech wasn't controversial, it was mainstream. Republicans and Democrats alike stood and clapped. The speaker in the modern-day video even notes how strange it is to look back and see full unity around border enforcement. He even says, if he had been in Congress in 1995, he would have stood and clapped too. And honestly, so would a lot of Americans today. So what changed? Before we move on, if you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I cover political flashbacks, policy deep dives, and everything the mainstream media won't. Here's where it gets wild. The speaker compares Clinton's 1995 stance directly to Donald Trump's. Same border focus, same immigration rhetoric. But when Trump said it, he was called a racist, a white supremacist. Clinton applauded, re-elected by over 8 million votes in 1996. So is the outrage really about the policy, or just about who is saying it? Fast forward to now. The speaker references a report from the Heritage Foundation. They tracked cell phone data from migrants who passed through NGOs in border states. Result? 30,000 devices tracked 431 of 435 congressional districts reached, and the highest concentration of those phones? Republican districts. This raises real questions about policy motives. Is it about humanitarian help, or a political strategy? According to the speaker, this isn't just about immigration. It's about flooding the labor market, lowering wages, and pushing Americans onto welfare, with the hope they'll become dependent on the system and vote Democrat. It's a controversial take, but it's gaining traction. And when you look at how drastically the Democratic Party has shifted from Clinton's era to today, it's hard to ignore. So here's the real question. How did we go from Bill Clinton standing up for border security to border enforcement being labeled as bigotry? When did this shift happen, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Clinton would even survive a Democratic primary today with that 1995 speech? And if you're into political deep dives like this, subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future uploads. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and as always, question everything.